Hello everyone, my name is Aviel Parente, and this is the Light of the Torah. This week's Parsha is Parshat Vayeishev. After Yaakov and Esav reconcile in last week's Parsha, we immediately go into the story of the 12 tribes. It's the famous story of Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat. We all know the story. Joseph would go into the field, tell his dreams over to his brothers. His brothers were jealous because he was his father's favorite son. And this jealousy led to a lot of hatred. And as the story goes, the brothers wanted to kill Yosef. And eventually they decide to sell him to merchants that were passing along. Eventually he got to Eretz Mitzrayim, to the land of Egypt. When he's in Egypt, he's sold into slavery. He goes to the house of Potiphar, one of the advisors to Paro at the time. The whole story with him being thrown into jail because of the story with Potiphar's wife. And then we have the story of Yosef in jail, where he encounters the butler and the cupbearer. They both worked for Paro. They each have their dreams. They then share their dreams to Yosef. He kind of translates the dreams for them, explains it to them, he interprets their dreams, and that's basically the Parsha in short. Going back to the part where the brothers sell Yosef into slavery, again, their original plan was to kill Yosef. And Reuven, the firstborn, the eldest, he said, guys, no, let's not kill him. It was his idea to put him in a hole and to leave him there. And then after they left, the other brothers came back. Judah, it was actually his idea to sell Yosef, sold Yosef. And the whole story with them taking his coat, his multicolored coat, dipping it in blood, and handing it to their father, to Yaakov Avinu, to deceive him into thinking that his son was devoured. As the pasuk says, "Chaya ra'a achaltau tarof toraf Yosef," a despicable, evil beast has eaten and surely devoured Yosef, and he goes into this depression. All of the children, all of his family come to comfort him, and obviously that's a famous scene in and of itself. Back to the story about Reuven, the way that the pasuk describes what he said to the brothers and how he convinced them not to kill him is interesting. It prefaces Reuven's idea by saying that Reuven saved Yosef. The word in the pasuk is v'atzilehu, which is rescue. It comes from the word tzahal, which means to rescue. So the pasuk first says that Reuven saves Yosef. Then it goes into Reuven telling the brothers, hey, let's not kill him. And then it ends off with saying, le'atzil, meaning Reuven has saved Yosef. But obviously we know that he didn't. He just told them not to kill him, to kill Yosef. He had plans to go save him, but it was too late by the time he got back. And once he realized that Yosef was gone, was missing, he goes into mourning. Reuven is the first one to go into mourning. Later on, when Yaakov goes into mourning, Yaakov is the only one that really goes into mourning. Everyone else is there to comfort him. But Reuven went into mourning before Yaakov. He took all the steps, that the mourning actions, quote unquote, that Yaakov would go through eventually, because he bore the responsibility for Yosef. That's the responsibility of the eldest son. That's his job, and he failed, despite his best efforts and intentions. And we learn a very, very valuable lesson from this. We can't be bystanders. That's not an option. And it's great to voice our opinions and to take a stand against things that we find to be evil, immoral, but we can't just stop there. We can't just say words and hope that they manifest into reality. We are not God. That's how God created the world. He spoke, and then there was. Something was created. We are not like that. We actually have to take action. That's how we fix things. That's how we prevent things. That's how we stop things. But then it begs the obvious question, well then, why does the text use the word rescue, and not once, more than once, twice? Why does the text claim that Reuven saved Yosef. And I think that the first part of the answer is quite obvious, because Yosef didn't die. The brothers wanted to kill him, and he prevented his death. Okay, but he was sold into slavery. He then was thrown into jail. Like, he didn't have an easy life in the coming years. And to that, I say this is a foreshadowing to, in a couple of weeks' time, Parshat Vayeishev, which we'll discuss then. This is essentially God's plan. God's plan is, since the covenant that Hashem made with Abraham, the Brit Ben Abtarim, you're going to be strangers in a strange land, and you're going to be enslaved by them, and then you're going to leave that land with wealth. And this is the first step. Yosef is the one that is first sold into slavery, and that's how the story sets up for Sefer Shemot, which is the story of the Exodus. But again, this is God's plan. And so Reuven didn't really fully rescue Yosef in the literal sense of preventing any harm from occurring to him, but he saved Yosef from his demise, in that if Yosef had been killed, he wouldn't be able to fulfill his mission, which was to be sold into slavery, to become the viceroy in Egypt, to interpret dreams, to save the world from famine. All those things wouldn't have been possible without Reuven preventing his death. So essentially, he didn't rescue Yosef from any harm, but he rescued Yosef from not being able to fulfill his purpose, what Reuven failed at. Even though in the end it worked out, his failure teaches us that the famous idiom, actions speak louder than words. You can't just talk the talk, we have to walk the walk. And with that, I would like to wish everyone a Shabbat Shalom.